We just went hiking a couple weeks ago. It was so fun, and it was a good way for me to get my exercise in as well. It wasn't too cold, which was nice. But you gave me a lot to think about when we were hiking, so I was really excited that you agreed to come back on the show. And I kind of it made me wonder about like people and friendships and like, I feel like a lot of people don't have that authentic friendship and those people they can go to. And so I just put so much value on friendships. Do you also have like a passion for that word, for friends, for?
Well, absolutely. And not just because I've personally benefited from good friendships, but also so many of the people who come to the church, that's what's lacking. So we put the problem elsewhere, but what's really lacking in a lot of people's lives is to have true, genuine friends. And by that I mean more than just surface level acquaintances. I think in our nation, we can't talk about deep things, like what is it that you never mention, religion, politics. We only talk about sports and celebrity gossip because we don't have these friendships that can withstand disagreement. We don't have people who you can be yourself around, who will love you even if you disagree on everything other than the friendship that you share. And so I think it's crucial in so many different aspects of life.
No, absolutely. And I think, again, you're right, with just the whole, like, having those meaningful conversations, the meaningful dialogues. So I think it's still very difficult. And I want to say it's like, for men especially, I feel like it's almost like taboo to like talk about like things that actually matter. Like a lot of my friends, they play video games and they're addicted to Fortnite. And it's like, they don't have like those actual, no one actually asks them like, hey man, how are you doing? Like, it's just very superficial. So I don't know, like what is your kind of like solution to that issue?
Well, I don't have any silver bullet, but I think we just need to realize when we have a true friendship and invest in it. And I think we're sometimes fooled by the amount of friends we have on social media. We think, I'm really close to all my friends. And the difficulty there, the trap, is that I know stuff about them. Like, oh man, my buddy and his wife, they're pregnant, that's beautiful. They didn't tell me that though. I found it out because I read their update that was just shot out to everyone. Yeah. And I think the danger there is I think I'm a lot closer to them than I am, and we don't take that extra step to call and to say, hey, you specifically, I want to tell you this because I want the love between us to grow by me sharing a little bit of myself, my life with you. And I also think sometimes we fall into a trap where instead of venting to one person, we vent to the internet at large. And when we vent to the internet at large, we feel great in that first moment, and then we realize, oh wait, there's nobody there to give me a hug.
Yeah.
And I think to avoid those traps of kind of false closeness, I mean, use social media, it's a great tool, but use it as a tool to really connect rather than a crutch that makes you think you're a lot closer to people than you actually are. So I think part of the solution is to encourage that real human contact. That intentional, I am calling you. You know what? I'm just gonna block out this half a day to just waste with you. Like that if there's any definition of friendship, I think it's that. It's the willingness and the finding joy in just wasting time with someone because they are at that moment more important than your calendar. And I think to encourage people in that, to say it's okay to, oh, there we go.
Yeah. That's fun. When was this? That's a lot of your friends.
Yes, so that was a pilgrimage in Italy that I was chaplain for. And what's incredible is that we spent a few weeks together, just 2 weeks. But at that time when we didn't have distractions, you didn't really have much cell service or anything like that, we were forced to just talk to each other. And that was over a year ago. And these were complete strangers I had never met. And still to this day, I was talking to that guy on the far, I guess your right, just the other day, because real human connections were formed, and now they're people that I know I can turn to, and they know that they can turn to me when they feel like, gosh, nobody's going to accept me right now because I just did the dumbest thing in the world. And the true friend's one that says, yes, you did just do the dumbest thing in the world, but I love you. And I'm gonna do all that I can to make sure you don't do that dumbest thing in the world again. But in the meantime, and even if you keep doing that, I'm still gonna love you. I'm still gonna be here.